All right, folks, I was just working on another video this morning and decided to put a pause on that one and say a few words on the tragic news that's just come out this morning, the death of Brian Wilson at the age of 82. Now, of course, in many ways, this doesn't come as a huge shock. We all knew that Brian was in poor health. Last year, it was revealed that he was suffering from dementia. And following the passing of his wife, Melinda, his family filed for a conservatorship, basically saying that he lacked the cognitive ability to consent to medications and treatments of neurocognitive disorders such as dementia. And to be fair, for those of us who have followed Brian's career for many years, we probably just need to be thankful that we had him as long as we did, considering his well-publicized struggles with mental health over the years. I think 82 is a very respectable age. Brian was, of course, the eldest of the three Wilson brothers, who were all abused both physically and mentally by their father, Murray. He steered their early music career, but he was a taskmaster and nothing was ever good enough for him. That, along with the rigors of the music industry, almost certainly contributed to Brian's legendary breakdown, which started somewhere in the late 60s and, depending on who you talk to, extended at least to the mid and possibly late 1970s. By all accounts, Brian was a very sensitive soul, and I think as the Beach Boys' star began to dim a little bit, he had a hard time dealing with it. And I can fully understand. I can't imagine coming up with an album as brilliant as Pet Sounds, which regularly places number one on lists of greatest rock albums of all time, only to have it poorly received initially by both fans and critics alike. Famously, Brian spent an extended period more or less in his room, lying in bed, becoming obese, abusing various substances, and doing very little in the way of music or anything else for that matter. It's become legendary, even turning up in song lyrics. For example, Bare Naked Ladies' song, Brian Wilson, which features the chorus, "Lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did." Then a psychotherapist of dubious credentials, Dr. Eugene Landy, came in supposedly to help Brian, but really took advantage of him both financially and mentally. Thank God Brian was able to come out on the other side of all that and enjoy the belated recognition that Pet Sounds and really much of his later work now received. But what a career. Sadly, I think many look at the Beach Boys' early music in the same way that they look at the Beatles' early music. Oh, that was cutesy and bubblegum, but it's really kind of lightweight. And that is utter nonsense. Those early songs are so iconic. As a young kid growing up in the San Francisco Bay Area, I could not go to the beach on a sunny day, see the surfers out there on the waves without thinking of this music. And I know others that are my age and older feel the same way. And musically, it's amazing how sophisticated some of that stuff is. Songs like The Girls on the Beach, The Warmth of the Sun. When you break it down, it's incredible. And lyrically too, on the surface, yeah, it's fun. But when you dig a little bit deeper, there's a depth and longing in those lyrics that captures teen angst better than Nirvana ever did. But even more impressive is the fact that Brian kept pushing. He didn't want to rest on his laurels, so he largely abandoned the surf music that the Beach Boys were known for on Pet Sounds. And it was a bold move. Even the rest of the band didn't understand it. They had no idea what he was doing. And it took years for the rest of the world to catch up with it. I once read an interview with Brian where he said something to the effect of music was his religion. And I think it's interesting that the song God Only Knows, which both Paul McCartney and David Bowie have claimed as their favorite song of all time, was the first song to use the word God in the title. This really is some heavenly music, and I think we all need to thank Brian for giving it to us. Let me know what you guys think of Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys in the comments. Was he important to you? I'd love to hear about it. And by the way, I'm probably going to do a Beach Boys song breakdown as part of my little Brian Wilson tribute. So let me know if there's a particular song you'd like me to do. Thanks a lot.